What's going on, everybody? Dan Unfiltered Wrestling. Raw, March 30th. This is your official recap review in under 5 minutes. But I don't think this one's going to be under 5 minutes. Even though not a hell of a lot happened, we got to talk about some of the promo work here. But let's get to the very beginning. The Undertaker cuts a backstage promo, which this is the way all promos should be done until this whole situation is resolved. Backstage. Just a camera. If you want to add a reporter, you can, I guess. But we don't need you in the ring to cut a promo. That looks lame. It looks awkward. Don't do it. This worked. Undertaker actually, this is one of his better promos in quite a while. My only complaint is that clearly, if it wasn't already set in stone obvious before, it is now. Undertaker's going to be the American Badass at WrestleMania. He has to now. He has to. Like, he must. I don't even know if he's going to be the American Badass. He might just be kind of himself. Like, out of character. Because they're calling each other by their real names. And I hate that. Like, they need to save that for certain feuds. I don't think Undertaker versus AJ Styles really needs personal, take us out of the world of WWE. Doesn't need that. It really doesn't. All you really have to do to sell this match is it's the top guy of the last 30 years of WWE versus the greatest independent wrestler maybe ever? Maybe? So, that's all you had to do. That's it. You don't have to call each other by their real names. That should be saved for personal, like, real blood feuds. This isn't a real blood feud. It just isn't. It isn't. And there's no way to make it that. Edge Orton, that you can tell me is a blood feud. Triple H Batista, that was a blood feud. Even Undertaker Shawn Michaels was kind of a blood feud. AJ Styles and Undertaker don't have anything to do with each other, nothing in common. This is not a blood feud. Promos will not make it a blood feud. Mentioning Michelle McCool will not make it a blood feud. Now, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, that was a blood feud. Because they have history going back to TNA and all over the goddamn planet. That's a blood feud. So when Samoa Joe brings up AJ's wife, it makes sense because they've known each other for ages. Undertaker and Styles don't have that type of history. They just don't. And it doesn't really need it. It doesn't really need it. It was a good promo from the dead man. It's just, I don't really want to see the American Badass back. As long as he's here in this company, Undertaker should be Undertaker, the dead man. And this was clearly stating that either he won't be a dead man. He'll either be American Badass or just himself. Because he's not wearing the hat. He's not wearing anything that says dead man. And he's speaking exactly like the redneck Undertaker, the biker taker. He even gave him the slogan. He said, "I'll make you famous." Which, God, I loved it. I loved it. So I did kind of fanboy out on that. I did. I'll be honest, I did. Damn it. If he was 10 years younger, fine. But it's kind of too late to be doing this. It's kind of late. I don't know. But I did fanboy out. And it is it awkward to anyone else that anytime we know Michelle McCool and Undertaker are real life together, but when they mention it, it's just weird. I don't like it being mentioned. I really don't. Because it's the Undertaker. You know what I mean? The dead man. This walking zombie-like corpse, the Grim Reaper of wrestling. And his wife is named Michelle McCool. God, that's such a lame wrestling diva name. It couldn't be like Tori Wilson. Like, at least that's a name. Michelle McCool's not a name. That's a cartoon character's name. Ooh, and a lame one. But whatever. I mean, I'm just ranting here, man. I told you. This is going to be longer than 5 minutes. There's a lot of things that kind of either irked me or something to talk about. The go-home show to WrestleMania, goddammit. I will say, as much as I know this WrestleMania is going to be a train wreck, and it will, let's be honest. This is going to be a full-fledged car accident. No airbags, no seatbelts. This is going to be through the windshield destruction. That's just all this is. But I am excited for it. I am. But following that, we had one of the dumber things I've seen on WWE in a while. Becky Lynch. First of all, I don't like her driving these damn monster trucks. I don't like it. It's like they're trying to make me think she's cool so bad. She was cool a year and a half ago at SummerSlam. That's when she was cool with blood dripping off her face. I think Tamina elbowed her right in the nose. That was sweet. That was cool because it was real and it wasn't forced. This feels like they want me to love her so much. And it makes me just want to see her get choked out by Shayna Baszler. It does. It just makes me want to see her lose. I hate that. I hate it. But I'm waiting for the heel turn. Eventually, Becky Lynch needs to turn heel before she cools off. Turn her heel before she cools off, so we get that momentum, that swing of momentum. Don't wait till no one gives a shit, like they seem to do every time with Dolph Ziggler. They turn him heel whenever people don't care about him anymore, and it leads to nothing. But this isn't the Dolph Ziggler rant. Becky Lynch comes out after her arrival in the monster truck. The Manster truck? Maybe? I don't know. But she gets there, gets to the ring, has a mic in her hand. We're expecting a promo. And instead she sets up the replay of last year's WrestleMania main event between Charlotte, Rousey, and Becky Lynch. That's what she's here for that? I didn't need that. I don't need that. Did you guys need that? That match isn't even that good. At least so far when they've been showing these replays, they've been showing really good matches. That match just isn't very good. There are botches. The Rousey pinfall was a complete shit show in the end. That roll-up was trash. Her arm wasn't even down. And then Becky gets to kind of brag for a year that she beat Rousey when she didn't have her arm pinned. It was just all bad. All bad. Becky should have won the match, but she should have done it by probably pinning Charlotte. But anyway, whatever. It was just a disaster. So yeah, you can skip that match. Who cares? And then she goes to continues her promo after this 20-minute burn of time Raw has been doing. And from behind her, Shayna Baszler chokes her out. I felt good about that. It made me warm inside. I felt feelings of happiness. Like, it just worries me. It worries me because you know what they say about go-home shows. Whoever gets the upper hand on the go-home shows is fucking loses on the pay-per-views. And that would be so damaging to Shayna Baszler. And I'll say even to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch beat Shayna Baszler. They'll be fucking happy they don't have an audience that Raw after Mania. Because she might get booed. Shayna can't lose to Becky Lynch right now. That would be bad for her career. Just so bad. No. Please no. Shayna, you gotta win. You just gotta win. And I'm hoping for a short, just complete domination of a match at WrestleMania there. Put her over. Make her a star. Becky will be fine with a loss. Next, we had Aleister Black versus local talent. I think his name was Jason Cade. Who cares? Anything more? Guess who won? Aleister Black. What a waste of everyone's time. If we're trying to be safe right now, which they are, they're doing kind of their best. Why are we inviting local talent or just any outside person here to have random 20-second matches? Not needed, not necessary. Tell Aleister Black to cut a promo. Good enough for me. Show his career best knockouts. Do that. Show a montage of his kicks. That would have been way better than this. Didn't need it. Who cares? Then we had quite a long match. The Street Profits and KO versus Seth Rollins, Angel Garza, and not Andrade. Andrade, I think he has like flu-like symptoms, so they've sent him home just in case, which is the smart thing to do. But they're continuing the storyline in the match at Mania. Whatever. And they've replaced Andrade with Austin Theory from NXT. Which, I'm big on Austin Theory. I think he has a hell of a lot of potential. He's really young. And he looks like goddamn a kind of a prettier version of John Cena. Seems like money to me. I just shouldn't be losing already. And, yeah, after a pretty long match, it was alright. Austin Theory loses. He doesn't get pinned. Angel Garza loses. But Austin Theory debuts just to take an L. Who cares? Like, for what? And I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and the Street Profits probably, I can't even say should win. They probably shouldn't be winning this. Because the Street Profits aren't losing the title to Garza and Austin Theory at WrestleMania. That's not going to happen. Street Profits are retaining. So who cares about this Raw? Like, you can't tell me Austin Theory can't get a roll-up on one of the Street Profits just to sell the tag match? Something? I just don't think it helped either feud, either storyline. It damn sure didn't help Austin Theory or even the young Angel Garza. He is still relatively new. I just think it's bad. It's just lazy. Not smart booking. Kevin Owens picks up the victory. He stuns Angel Garza. And right after the 1-2-3 count, he gets stomped by Seth Rollins. There you go. That's it. And then a commercial break. They come back. And Kevin Owens cuts the second good promo of the night. It was a damn good one. Kevin Owens is like the maestro of the microphone. He's so good. He is so good. Like his body language is what does it. It's like you believe that he's really that character. You don't even, it doesn't feel like it's scripted. It doesn't feel like someone gave him cue cards. Nothing. It feels, and he acts it beautifully. Like he is Kevin Owens. It's a thing to behold. It really is. It's a goddamn shame the man's not at the top of the majority of WWE pay-per-views. It really is. But Kevin Owens cut a good promo, kind of telling him that every accolade that Kevin Owens has, he needed help. None of it really was clean, was real, matters. But he said the same about Seth Rollins, where he also needed backup. He needed help. And he's kind of right. Now, if anyone wants to say, well, what about Seth Rollins? He didn't have any backup. There was no Shield when he beat Brock Lesnar. No, there wasn't. But there were low blows. There were low blows. That's help. That's cheating. That wasn't clean. So Kevin Owens did make a good point there. So technically, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, this match does feel like it matters because of that promo. It does make me feel like this will be the first real moment, WrestleMania moment, that either one had that didn't have some type of asterisk on it. You have Seth Rollins, like you say, Money in the Bank, when he cashed in on Brock and Roman. Yeah, but he cashed in. They were already beat to shit. That's an asterisk. Great moment, though. Great moment. But you get the point. He lost to Randy Orton earlier in the night. Didn't even get that done. So yeah, neither of them really have a real WrestleMania moment. So I'm excited for that match. I really am. And we had Another great promo. Backstage, the only reason the Kevin Owens promo worked in the ring is because he was following a match. So he had a reason to be out there. He was exhausted. He was sitting his big ass on the mat, holding a mic. And he slowly got up. That's it. That makes sense why he's out there. He didn't go out there with his music and the goddamn ring announcer have to say his name. Welcome, Kevin Owens. That just sounds stupid when there's no one there. Really stupid. But Edge, backstage promo. This might have been the best Edge promo I've ever seen. He was perfect here. Perfect. Perfect. As good as the Kevin Owens promo just was, this was better by a lot. And Kevin Owens is the fucking man. Edge hit a home run. Facial expressions. Whoever, I don't know if he wrote it, whoever wrote it, it was perfect. Like there was nothing wrong. There's zero complaints. It was a 10 out of a 10 promo. Maybe the ending was a little flat. He probably should have ended it, I'd say, 10 seconds sooner. I can't remember what he ended on some weird line where he's going to push you in till you can't come out. That sounded kind of odd. But still, it was a beautiful promo. And this match, more than any other, pisses me off. That it's happening in front of no one. Because this has epic classic written all over it. WrestleMania glory, WrestleMania moment is just dripping off of this match. It's a shame. It's a shame. And the main points of his promo was how everyone has said Randy Orton has been slacking for years. He hasn't been good unless Edge is around. Because Edge drives him. The competition drives him. Which I understand. Larry Bird said the same thing about Magic Johnson. When Magic Johnson had to retire because of AIDS, Larry Bird quickly retired after because he said he didn't have much to play for. And his back was screwed. But he didn't have the motivation to come back. Just didn't. And Orton hasn't been good. Like, he's been good, but he hasn't been great for the last 9 years. Edge points that out. In the last 9 years, Edge wasn't here. Great promo. It was great. Then after that, we get another squash match. Asuka versus Kaden Carter, who's from NXT. I like her. She has potential. Very cool look. She kind of has an Ember Moon vibe to her. Cool. She loses. Who cares? Asuka cuts a promo in 90% Japanese with a couple Nikki's thrown in and Alexa's thrown in. No one understood any of it. But I will say heel Asuka screaming Japanese is terrifying and is pretty sweet, especially with the green paint. So I'm okay with it. Hopefully they retain at WrestleMania. I don't want to see them lose momentum. The titles don't need to restart on someone else. And then we had I won't even call it the main event. The final promo. Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar in the ring. And Paul Heyman does what Paul Heyman does. He did Paul Heyman things. He spoke. He's so good at speaking. Like tonight was a good show if you like promos. If you like matches, no. This show was terrible. There wasn't a single match that needed to happen on this card. None. Zero. If they cut all the matches off this show, I would have liked it more. Would have saved me time. About an hour of my life would have been saved. Maybe an hour and a half. But this was a great promo from Paul Heyman. And this one was in the ring with Brock Lesnar standing next to him. But the only reason this didn't bother me is because he used Brock Lesnar being in the ring as a part of the story he was telling. About how, if you look back over the last 10 to 20 years, the go-home show to WrestleMania, who's usually in the ring? On the last segment of the last Raw, going to WrestleMania, it's usually Brock Lesnar. That's why it makes sense to have Brock and Paul in the ring doing that promo. That's when you do it. And it made so much sense. And he even gave a beautiful next year, 1 year from now, on the Raw Go Home show to WrestleMania. And he's probably right. It will be Brock Lesnar standing in the ring, holding the title for the next young challenger to try to beat him, because he is the conqueror that needs to be conquered. He is the boss at the end of the game. He's Bowser. You know what I mean? He's Bowser. He's the end. Once you beat him, you beat the game. It's over. There's no going up after beating Brock Lesnar. That's why it rarely happens. And when it does, like Seth Rollins, it's with cheating, low blows, things like that. People don't just beat him. And when they do, it's usually a disaster. Like it's usually not a good thing. So Drew McIntyre, I don't know, man. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win at WrestleMania. I'll give him a 25% chance. And the only reason he has any of that 25% chance is because Vincent Kennedy McMahon said years ago that Drew was the future. And I think Vince's ego will make him want to fulfill that prophecy so it doesn't look like a stupid thing to say. That's it. Besides that, no. He doesn't have the momentum like that right now. The crowd was what gave him the momentum. The crowd isn't there. McIntyre really isn't there. There's no momentum for him. I can't see, especially after this promo where Heyman just tells you how everyone who faces him is special. Everyone. Before the bell rings, they are thought of as special. Then when the 3 count happens, and Brock retains or wins, they're just another one. They're just another person who lost to Brock Lesnar. Look at Kofi. Kofi got done dead wrong. Dead fucking wrong. He became just Kofi Kingston again, like that. Like that. I don't think it's going to happen to Drew. I think Drew will put up a good fight. A very good one. I expect claymores galore. But I do expect him to get caught with a couple F5s and be put down for the 1, 2, 3. I just hope it's a hell of a match. But overall, this show, it was okay. Again, not a single thing in the ring mattered. Promos were fantastic, though. The only promo that wasn't good was Becky Lynch's, because it really wasn't one. She was just there to introduce a goddamn replay match, and they get choked out real quick by Shayna Baszler. That is it. How do you guys feel about the show? Let me know down below. I give it a B-. Shockingly. And that's with no wrestling that mattered. Just because there were 3 great promos. 3.5. The Undertaker's were still pretty good. 3.5 to 4 great promos. That's enough for me. SmackDown. Let's do a little wrestling. Can we get a little wrestling, please? Just something. Just a little bit. And god damn it, they did it again. They hyped up Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. I don't know if they have something up their sleeve or a plan, but something's going on here. Something's going on. Because I don't know why they'd be hyping it up if they're dead set that Roman isn't in the match. So my guess is maybe Vince has told him to think about it. And is still talking to him in negotiation. Because if Roman is 100% not in that match and they all know it, and he's like in another state right now, then they need to stop advertising it. It makes them look stupid. And it's like they're trying to trick us. We know he's not supposed to be in the match. So either they're going to get him to agree to be in it, they're going to talk him into it, or maybe they'll use it as some storyline plot device the day of WrestleMania. Roman got attacked. And Goldberg will just say, well, who's next? And then here comes Samoa Joe. Something like that. I'm not sure. We will find out. And if you are still here, you are a real one.